Okay, let's just get one thing straight. We are not going to talk about that boring textbook English you were forced to learn in school. Nope. We're here to take that language and turn it from a subject you just had to pass into a powerful tool. Yeah, even a weapon that you can actually use for the rest of your life.
So picture this. You're on a first date. It's going pretty well. You're feeling good. And then they ask you the classic question. So, what do you do for a living? Your brain just completely short circuits. And what comes out of your mouth is this absolute catastrophe. I am make words for money. Oof, it physically hurts to even say it.
And this is the response you get. A very slow, very confused, and kind of concerned question. You can just feel the air go out of the room, right? A total communication meltdown that turned a potential dream date into an absolute nightmare. And believe it or not, this is a true story. And it's where our whole journey begins today.
So yeah, the first date disaster. It all kicked off with that one single horrifying sentence. In a nice bar in Dublin, of all places. That one phrase led to a promise, a vow really. Learn real English. Or maybe just never speak to another person ever again.
But every good story needs a comeback, right? Well, here it is. 6 months later, a second chance. And just look at this transformation. From sounding like a low-level henchman in a bad movie to this witty, fascinating writer who, and I quote, describes pirate captains' abs for a living. I mean, come on. The result? Laughter, a second date, and a 2-year relationship. That is the kind of power we are talking about.
So here's the big takeaway. Forget the endless grammar drills and the vocabulary lists for a second. English isn't just a subject you study. It's a weapon. It's a tool for connection, for humor, for your career. And today, I'm giving you the nuclear codes.
All right, let's talk about your new weapon, English. First up, every weapon needs the right ammunition. And for us, that means learning the language native speakers actually use, not the stuff you find in a textbook from 1985.
Look, the change here is pretty simple, but the impact it has, it's massive. Instead of saying, I'm tired, try saying, I'm absolutely knackered. Instead of, it's annoying me, a native speaker might say, it's doing my head in. Using phrases like these is like knowing the secret handshake. It signals that you're not just speaking the language, you're really in it.
Okay, let's talk about grammar. And I know, just hearing the word can be a total snooze fest. But what if I told you grammar isn't about rules? What if it's actually a set of cheat codes for the game of English? Powerful hacks that let you talk about your dreams, your regrets, and complex ideas like instantly. Let's start with conditionals.
Let's break this down real quick. 0, that's just for facts, things that are always true. Super simple. First is for the real future, what's actually possible for you. Second, this is the fun one. This is for daydreaming about right now. Third is for regrets, the classic, if only I had. And mixed, that's basically chaos magic, blending the past and present. If you can get these down, you've pretty much mastered storytelling.
All right, our next cheat code is a big one, collocations. The easiest way to think about them is that some words are just married. They're a package deal. They belong together. You don't do a mistake. You make a mistake. It just sounds wrong the first way, you know? Because those words aren't a couple.
And check this one out, strong rain. I mean, what even is that? Rain that's been hitting the gym? Lifting weights? No, we say heavy rain. Getting these little word partnerships right is a giant leap towards sounding completely natural.
So, you're probably wondering, how do I even practice this? Well, here's an idea. Try a mistake jar. Every single time you use the wrong word combo, you put a euro or a dollar, whatever, into a jar. After 1 month, our hero from the story had 87 euros in his jar. But he was also saying things like heavy rain and take a break without even thinking. A small price to pay for fluency, right?
Okay, let's switch gears. For a lot of you, this English weapon has a very specific purpose, to defeat a final boss, an exam like the IELTS. So let's get into some real tactical tricks for absolutely smashing that test.
You know this situation. It's a classic trap in the IELTS listening section. You hear a couple of people going back and forth, changing their minds a dozen times. They'll throw out a bunch of different numbers and you've got to figure out which one is right. So, what's the answer here?
Here's the secret. It is almost always the very last number they say. The whole point of the question is to test if you can follow a conversation where someone is correcting themselves. So just ignore all the noise, ignore the first couple of numbers, and lock in on that final answer. It's usually that simple.
Oh man, the not given option. The cause of so much anxiety. Am I right? This definition here absolutely nails it. Not given just means the information is not there. The writer went for a coffee break and just didn't mention it. Your job is not to be a detective. If the text doesn't say it, the answer is not given. Period. Stop guessing.
Now for the speaking test, you want to see a secret formula for a high score? Here it is. Look how it uses everything we've talked about. You start with a dramatic story, you set the scene, you use those cool conditionals for dreams and regrets, you drop a natural-sounding idiom, and you wrap it all up with a positive lesson. In like 2 minutes, you just shown the examiner you have an insane command of English.
And for writing task 2, the strategy is pretty much the same. It's all about having a solid structure. I like to call this the 4-paragraph seduction. You kick it off with a wild hook that grabs their attention. Then you show you're a balanced thinker. 1 paragraph for one side, 1 for the other. And then in the final paragraph, you hit them with your own well-reasoned opinion, using all that beautiful advanced grammar. And of course, to make it all flow, you need some road signs for your reader. These linking phrases are perfect. They guide your reader through your argument. Sprinkle these in and your writing instantly sounds way more sophisticated. It's one of the easiest ways to boost your score.
Okay, we have gone over a ton of stuff. Vocabulary, grammar cheat codes, exam hacks, the whole shebang. But now we come to the final mission. And honestly, this is the most important part of all. It's about taking all this stuff and making it truly your own. This might be the single most powerful piece of advice I can give you. Record yourself speaking every single day. And yes, the first day is going to be super awkward. You'll probably sound like a confused robot and you will hate listening to it. But I promise you, the person you hear on day 90 will sound completely different. The progress will be undeniable. So guess what? You've got homework. But don't worry, it's the fun kind. Today, I want you to go out and try to use one new collocation in a real conversation. Tonight, narrate your shower to yourself using the 3rd conditional. If I had used the other shampoo, get creative with it. The point is to play with the language. Make it fun, not a chore.
And that's why we do all this. It's for that one moment, that one day in the future, maybe on a date, maybe in a job interview, when you open your mouth. And instead of a clumsy, awkward phrase, what comes out is just magic. Effortless. Perfect.
So I want to leave you with this one last thought. The only thing really holding you back is the fear of messing up, of sounding stupid. So you have to be bold. You have to be loud. You've got to make mistakes that are louder than your fear. Because right on the other side of all those cringy, awkward mistakes, that's where you'll find fluency. Now go get it.